Well, a lot is at stake. South Carolina is one of those states that's a net exporter to China. We export things like aircraft and automobiles and have enjoyed a good, strong business relationship with China. So any discussion that would involve changes in policy that have been good for South Carolina obviously would be a concern. I might add that when you look at our state, because we have a large seaport here, there is a tremendous amount of export activity that occurs in and out of South Carolina. And any discussions and changes in trade policy with what is our largest export partner would be something that would be of great concern to South Carolina.
So what sort of repercussions do you think the economy could see if perhaps trade tensions continue to rise?
Well, I'm a big believer in trying to have as much free trade as you possibly can. I think, like most Americans, the trade agreements have to be fair and they have to be enforced. But the repercussions are bad when you have trade wars in place or you have artificial impediments put in place to free trade. For a state like South Carolina, where we have lots of people who work in and around export-oriented businesses, it could be really tough. And it's not just, Rochelle, the large employers like BMW and Boeing, but we have over 5,000 small and mid-sized businesses that export through South Carolina as well. And any changes in export policy that would make it harder to send things would have an impact not just on the large companies, but on small business in our state as well.
So what sort of reaction are you seeing then from workers, as you mentioned, from some of these small and mid-sized businesses who are really wondering what their fate is going to be if trade tensions continue to rise?
Well, I don't think that they have connected A to B as well as they should have, and I think that will come over time if they're proposals that indeed that are moving forward that could negatively impact trade. But, around a little under 10% of South Carolina workers work for foreign companies, companies that have operations here in our state. And I think they're acutely sensitive to anything that might disrupt that relationship between foreign-owned companies that do business, that operate here, and those other countries where we might do business.